Hello everyone, and welcome to race number 12 at 61 Kartway 2015, the final race of the season. The championship fight is getting ready to go down here today. Thor McDonald, Al Cram, Joseph Rapp, the three drivers involved in the championship fight here today. And here are the clinching scenarios for the championship. Thor must finish second or higher to clinch the championship. Al Cram must win, and Thor must finish third or lower. And Joseph Rapp must win and hope that Thor and Al either be an F or finish fourth. It's looking like a long shot for him, but it's still a tight battle between all three of the drivers. Here's your starting lineup. 4 karts showing up for today's feature event. Conveniently, they're all in the 380-pound class, so all of them will be scrapping for points here today. Nelson Jelinski, by the way, is the driver in 4th place in the championship. Mathematically, he cannot gain or lose any positions. And mathematically, Joseph has the least to lose out of the drivers here today and the most to gain. So we'll see how this plays out. Here, start the race. Thor qualified on pole. Albert Graham will start his outside. They're rolling here in the final race of 2015. Another interesting note. We want to explain to you here the time of day. We're starting in the sun. We will end just about under the lights. Constantly changing conditions here in race number 12. Drivers will have to deal with that throughout the race here today. Forward and rear view on Thor's kart. Looking back at Al there, the championship competitor closest to him. Forward view on Joseph, and a special forward view from Nelson Jelinski. Gotta thank Thor Racing Team for providing us with this camera view and allowing Nelson to take the camera and put it on his helmet here today for this race. As the field circles the track under the warm-up laps, a lot of variables can change in this race. The championship fight is on, and it's going to be a doggone good one. 4 drivers, the top 4 in the championship. How will they finish the season out? It's the final race of 2015. They worked their way through the oval for one final time. Green flag is in the air. We are racing for the feature event. And the field jockeying for position early. Ooh, Joseph lost position on the start. Nelson got in front of him. He's going to fall back to the 4th position. Nelson looking for second. Couldn't quite get it done. And here comes Joseph looking back on the number 97 machine. Looking under him. Couldn't quite get it done. Al's all over the back bumper of Thor. And meanwhile, Joseph looking to the inside of Nelson. Going down another moneymaker. That is not a place we normally see passes taken. Joseph able to complete the pass, but a risky one, to say the least, as he made that pass. Nelson slides back to the 4th position. Al Cram all over the back bumper of the 66T machine right now, trying to get up to the front of the field. Al looking at the 66T for the points to go towards the championship, and already a break between the first 2 and the last 2 karts in the field. These 2 up front have been stellar all day, setting fast laps and times in the pre-final and qualifying. They were fast all day. Not too surprised to see them running as well as they are right now. It is not out of the question that Thor could lose this championship, because we have seen Nelson and Joseph run really well and close all year long, and mechanical failures can rear their ugly heads at any point. Meanwhile, Al trying to get it done the old-fashioned way and work his way past the 66T machine. Meanwhile, the gap back to Joseph and Nelson is growing, but they're fighting for that 3rd spot overall. They work out of the final corner. Al is right there, putting the pressure on Thor, hoping that he makes a mistake as they work through turn 1. Lots of points on the line here. A championship on the line. It is at stake here tonight. Al all over the back bumper of Thor. Can't get the job done. Meanwhile, further back in the field, Joseph trying to fend off Nelson Yalinsky for third spot, but the battle up front continues to rage on as the 72 machine is behind the 66 team. Here's Nelson and Joseph's battle into the moneymaker. Nelson seems to close a little bit on the number 8 machine there. And all the way up through the top of the hill. And here comes Thor trying to pull the gap on the number 72 machine. There is no doubt the 72 of Al Cram has been the dominator when he showed up to the track this season. But for whatever reason today, he has not been able to beat the 66T of Thor McDonald. And now, in the feature event, it appears as though he's losing a little bit of ground. Behind them, Joseph Rapp, Nelson Yalinsky, two drivers who have had kind of inconsistent seasons. Joseph has been able to show up for every race, but has had some mechanical problems that have plagued him throughout the year, along with a few driver errors. Nelson Yalinsky had his best run of the season 3 weeks ago in race number 11 when he battled Thor for the top spots in the late closing stages of that race. He appears to be having another good run here today. Thor trying to gap the 72 machine, but he's sticking with him. Joseph trying to put some distance between him and Nelson. Now looking back at Albert Cram. He's lost a little bit of ground. Thor goes down to block the bottom, but there's really no need as he is gapping the 72 behind him. Joseph Rapp in third, Nelson Yalinsky in fourth. And the question is, at any point in this race, will something go wrong for any of these drivers? It means costly championship points, and it could mean the championship overall. Al could lose that second spot in the championship points here today, so he has the most to lose, it seems like, tonight. Meanwhile, we're watching Nelson Yalinsky try to battle Joseph Rapp as they work through the toilet bowl. Field beginning to kind of spread itself out, and Nelson has lost a considerable amount of ground to the number 8 machine. There were some mechanical issues on that 97 kart in the pre-final. We had gotten word that they were grinding down the rear gear on that kart, the rear sprocket, and he appears to be losing ground right now, which is a sign it could still be doing that same thing. Meanwhile, the battle for the championship up front, Albert Cram trying to close the gap. He did so a little bit last lap, it seemed like, but now Thor has at least 3 or 4 kart lengths over him. And Nelson has lost all sorts of ground in the number 8 machine. He is limping around the track. This 97 kart, Devon kart, clearly still has an issue with that rear sprocket. We'll continue to monitor this for you. Hopefully he's able to finish, but it looks like he's nursing the kart home right now. Thor trying to gap the 72 of Al Cram. Can't quite get it done. Al trying to close in. It's funny, Al has won just about every race he's entered here at 61 Kartway this year. Yet he finds himself second in the points because he's missed a few races. And it's honestly cost him all those points. He has those 2 drops, 2 zeros that he's dropped, but I believe he's missed 4 races overall, and another 2 zeros in that column have just been devastating for his championship run as far as the consistency in point scoring goes, and the 97 of Nelson Yalinsky continues to have problems. He's looking down at the motor. I'm not sure if he's under power. Looks like he's going awfully slow, and he's come through the moneymaker here. Ooh, I believe the chain has come off that kart. And he's going to pull off into the grass. He will not finish this race, and this mathematically puts Joseph in a position where he cannot win the championship here today. So the battle between the top 2. Now, Joseph would need to finish in the second position, and Thor would need to finish third for Al to win this championship here today. And Thor is actually gapping the number 72 machine, so nothing happening there. And it looks like if Thor can keep a cool head and be consistent these last few laps, he should come away with the championship. But how about some crank it up in the final race of the year at 61 Kartway? Meanwhile, just 2 laps to go in the season finale here at 61 Kartway, and Al Cram is becoming a smaller and smaller dot in Thor's rear view mirror. The lights are on here at 61. We are into the darkness here as the changing conditions continue to do so here at the track. And it looks like here, as they come to the white flag, Thor McDonald will take the final lap in the 2015 season. If he can hang on for one more lap, he will be the champion. Al Cram second. He's trying to track him now. The consistency of the 66T all year long has been amazing. He's finished in races where we didn't really think he'd get a good finish. He's been consistent. I believe his worst finish this year has been 3rd. He's finished 2nd a number of times to that 71 machine, or 72 machine of Al Cram. And now he's going to come out on top in the race that matters most. The first man to defeat Al Cram this year, I believe, is going to be the 66T of Thor McDonald, and it's going to propel him towards the 2015 championship. Coming to the line, one final time, checkered flags in the air for Thor McDonald. He's your 2015 61 Kartway track champion. Second, Albert Cram. He finishes 2nd in the points. 3rd, Joseph Rapp. He finishes 3rd in the points. 4th will be credited to Nelson Yelinsky, who just happens to finish 4th in the points. And the way they came in, they finished Thor getting the fist bump there from Albert Cram. It has been a long season for all these drivers. Well worth it though. Thor, one of the hardest working guys in the garage area. 3 karts on that team. Spends pretty much all day, Friday, getting those karts ready. Up into Saturday morning, he's getting those karts ready to race. And it makes it all worth it at the end of the day when he comes home with the track championship and the checkered flag. Really one of the nicest guys you'll meet in the garage area too. Joseph Rapp giving him the fist bump there on the championship. And as he comes down to take the checkered flag, a victory lap will be in order for the new track champion at 61. Not new to us though. He's claimed the championship the past 2 years at Sprint Kart Speedway, and the tradition carries over here to 61 Kartway. A fun time for Thor. As he takes his lap, that'll conclude the season at 61 Kartway. A final look here at the point standings. The Clone 380-pound class 2015 final standings. Thor finishes with 1805, Albert Cram 1750, Joseph Rapp 1680 points. 1330 back to Nelson Yelinsky, Jason Owens 700, Joseph Hall 295, Dan Delgran with 140. This means Thor is your track champion for this class. Meanwhile, in the 320-pound class standings, it's Hannah McDonald who took home the championship last week in the race. She clinched it. Odin McDonald comes home 2nd. Chris Owens 3rd, which is quite amazing considering he barely raced this year. Christian Owens 4th. Tyler Peterson 5th. A little confusion with Tyler midway through the year. He switched from the open class to the light class here, and so you'll see him on the next page as well for the Clone Open class. Your track champion in this class, Mark Peterson. The number 69 machine comes home with 1,350 points. Casey Newmark 2nd. Tyler Peterson will come home 3rd, but once again, like we said, he switched classes later in the year. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the 2015 season, and congratulations to Thor McDonald, Hannah McDonald, and Mark Peterson on their track championships. Until next year, so long, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you in 2016.